Hi, I'm Komaton. You can call me Matt. I am making this video because I made a mistake in my last Five Nights at Freddy's theory video. Not a mistake that affects my theory, but a mistake in the name of the story I referenced. I had called the story Bunny Call, when in reality it's actually called In the Flesh. That alone isn't enough to render a whole new video, which brings me to another and a much larger mistake I had made. I made an error with how I presented my evidence. For those who didn't watch my previous video, here's what I said.
I found this story as odd as it didn't seem to connect to any major part of the lore.
How that is phrased is itself wrong. As to why, you'll need to understand the story of In the Flesh. For those who didn't read it, here's a summary of the story. A game developer named Matt is creating a new Five Nights at Freddy's VR game. One day, while testing the game, he gets mad at Springtrap and decides to slightly alter the game's code in order to punish him. This causes Springtrap to glitch and damage its own code. Over the next few days, Matt develops symptoms of pregnancy before giving birth to a small version of Springtrap. Now, if this didn't set off your alarms, the story is nearly one-to-one to the story of Help Wanted. So then, why did I say that there was no connection to the lore? As much as I would love to say there's a difference between a reference and a connection, it isn't that simple when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's. Although, yes, it is important to know the difference between a reference and a connection, it is also important to recognize when you can use a reference to make a connection. A good example of this is in Sister Location, where there are multiple references to the FNaF 4 house. Those references, as well as the code 1983 to access the cameras that create this reference, make it rather clear that FNaF 4 is supposed to take place in 1983, which would make the bite in that game the bite of 83. Furthermore, all these connections show us that Sister Location is directly connected with FNaF 4 in some capacity because of the lore reveal. So, what I really should have said when I made my last video was that it's odd that this story that has a large amount of Help Wanted references to not have a big lore reveal in this specific story. That being said, I still think that this was supposed to reveal that Vanny split from Vanessa. First is the obvious connection between Help Wanted's Glitch Trap and In the Flesh's Springtrap, both of their codes being bad. One through a glitch, and the other being a literal glitch. Second, there's the game's stories themselves. Springtrap's Revenge and Help Wanted both nearly being prevented from coming to market because of the mistakes in the development process kind of is a very big parallel there. And lastly, both Springtrap and Glitch Trap infect the beta testers playing their game. With all of these parallels, it stands to reason that Matt birthing a smaller Springtrap would also parallel what happens between Vanessa and Vanny. The only thing that would be necessary to allow this parallel to exist, however, would be proof Vanny and Vanessa are not the same person by the time we play Security Breach. I already explained in my previous video why it's reasonable to believe that they are not the same person, but in case you missed it, here is a summary. Vanny and Vanessa have different voice actors, and when checking on their voices, you can clearly tell their voices apart. Combine this with the time between when we see them being only a few minutes apart, and with the fire escape ending clearly showing the two separate entities, it is clear that by the time we play Security Breach, they are no longer the same person. This causes me to believe that Vanny was, in some way, birthed from Vanessa, and that it's implied to the parallels between Help Wanted and In the Flesh. I know I'm just restating my previous theory, with the only real difference being I'm providing a better explanation, as well as addressing my mistakes. And that was the point of this video. being completely honest, I wasn't going to make this video at all. I wasn't even planning on making my previous video, and I only did it because I thought it would be fun. I believed that it would go unnoticed. I was genuinely surprised when over 1,000 people had watched that video. As excited as it made me, I realized I needed to do quality control on my videos, and now I'm making this video. If my FNaF videos get popular enough, I may start making FNaF theories a little more semi-regularly if people enjoy them. I don't have anything else I can theorize about until the DLC or movie release, but in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and smash that like button and hit the subscribe button. I'll see you all next time.